let's look at what are the reasons, what are the causes of examination malpractices. So the first one is lack of adequate preparedness. Lack of adequate preparedness. The mistake a lot of the young ones do is that they are last minute people. That for us, we are doing well when it is last minute. So what it means is that they will not take their study seriously. So when it's 1 week or 2 weeks,
or even 1 day,
then you see them studying. So it's very bad. It's very bad because the brain is such that as you study 30 minutes, you need to relax, or 20 minutes, you need to relax. So if you use 1 day to condense a lot of things, you can't keep everything. Another thing, the purpose of studying is not just to write exams, it's to make healthy decisions, it's to change your behavior. So when you don't read when it's time for exams, so that means that the purpose for which you are going to school is just to write exams, and which is very wrong. So there's this guy. He was one of our colleagues. He has the mentality that when it's level 1 week to the exams, then he will take studying seriously. So while we were studying, he wasn't doing like that. Surprisingly, 1 week to the exam, malaria catch the guy.
how will you then?
Look, he was very sick. He has to fail that particular thing. That was one of his biggest regrets. So as you are thinking, know that your life is not in your hands. Your health is not in your hands. Anything can happen. Somebody too will be there waiting for last minute. They'll hear that his mother has died. The mother died during that critical period. So if you had been studying and some of these things happen, you've already studied. So even whatever, you have something to write. But waiting for the last minute is very, very. So lack of adequate preparedness made people to involve themselves in examination malpractice. Another thing too is laziness to read. One of the reasons why most students engage in exams malpractices is laziness. Most of the students, absolutely, they are very lazy when it comes to reading. I've been a social studies tutor at the senior high school. Sometimes I observe the students when they pick book to read. The number of minutes they spend in reading is different from when they are on their phone on social media. So when they pick their social media and they are on TikTok 3 hours, Facebook 2 hours, YouTube 2 hours, then when they pick their book 15 minutes, they are tired. So you'll be like, what is wrong with these people? Meanwhile, the social media, the people you are watching, they are getting paid, but you are not getting paid. But at the senior high, if you complete successfully and you get to any good university or any good college and you complete and you start working and you are getting every month 30 million or 40 million, do you know what it can do for you? Do you know? Absolutely. It will be relieve the burden on your parents. Now you say you love your parents. Now when it comes for you to show that you love your parents, you don't want to read. You just pick the book, 15 minutes you are sleeping. Then they will give you your phone, TikTok. You can watch the TikTok. This person on the TikTok. So with your phone, you can be on it for more than 3 hours. So now, and what you are watching on TikTok, what's it? Now you get to what's it. Are you going to produce it?
You can't even do what you watch.
Exactly. So these are some of the problems a lot of people. Sometimes the government policies too is there. I observed one thing when I was handling the year ones. There was one particular student, very brilliant. When we moved to year 2, I saw that he started going down. So I called him I'm a member of the guidance and class. I called him to assess what exactly is the problem. He was trying to hide it. Finally, he revealed to me that master, I don't know, but I have this of my friends. When we were in year 1, I was studying. They were making fun of me. I was studying, and then when we wrote exams, I passed very well. The next year, when we were going to year 2, all those who were not reading, we are all in the same year 2. That's so those who are now in year 2 told him, all you're studying, isn't all of us still in the year 2? So government made a policy that it doesn't matter the performance of a student, the student should continue. So it's discouraging those who are very serious with studies. Nothing is there to inspire them. I remember during our time, if you don't pass, you won't go. So we'll sit up to do it. But once you've taken that lead, so people who don't even have interest in their education, they will just go in there to fool around and to affect those who were meant to benefit from education. So I feels like I recommend the government should try and put something, at least, so that people who have interest in education, they will put in that effort. It will serve as a motivation for those, because what I'm foreseeing is that students who used to be very serious, now they are being very reluctant because they are with friends, they put in all effort. At the end of the day, the friends are in the same class with them. And they always, so you are skating, they are there fooling around, watching UEFA Champions League, eating fried rice, going around, fooling around, go attending fancy garden Macasio program. And at the end of the day, you write exams, and the next year you are all in the same class. You be like, oh, it's not worth it. You know, it kind of discourages. So government must be very careful with some.
I attended a primary school.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So before you go to Form 3, you have to write exam before you go to Form 3. And then if you fail, you have to get repeated.
So that's it. So it will encourage you to study.
Study hard.
So a lot of people don't like studies. So one way to motivate them to study is to put something there, to give them a reason to study. It's a source of motivation. Once you've taken that away, now you are making the people lazy. And I don't think that's the intention of the government. Maybe there's something within the policy that has to be relooked at. Because I could feel he might have best interest for probably coming out with those things. So these are some of the few challenges we've identified. Another thing is the malams and pastors. I learned that some malams have a pen. It's an examination pen. Once you have it, you just write, all the answers will come around. And that's what I heard. That's something pen.
You write.
And that once you have that pen, yes, that if you want to, you call it examination pen. That you pay some amount and take that pen. I learned that it's on even market selling. So some of the students were telling me, once you buy that pen, and you just write, you'll get the answer.
I heard this story when I was in junior high that they were writing exams, or they were about to write exams, and this GGGB thing that you are talking about, the mother gave the students like handkerchief, so to come and spread it on the paper. So the student came and relaxed and spread the handkerchief on the paper, and it was relaxing. When the teacher asked, the student said, "Oh, say I finished writing."
Okay.
Everything. So I finished writing. Then when it was time, the teacher said they should bring a person. He gave out his paper and it was empty. He said he should let him write. I said no. I asked you and then you told me that you finished. So why are you now telling me to let you write? That means like he was believing that the handkerchief can help.
Yes.
So at least even if they give you something like that, you have to wait.
So I believe even the malams and the pastors, I believe they might have told the students to read.
Okay.
I think they don't just come out with pen or some handkerchief like that. I think there's something they also normally say. Just that there's a student, because the students don't like to read and they just hear that this pen can help you perform magic. So I will even encourage the malams and pastors, they should avoid themselves from doing that. Let's not carve out something to encourage a malpractice at all. Exactly. The best way to write your exam is to study and go and produce what you've studied. That is all. Now, if the person need a help to be able to keep the things in memory, some complain that when they read, they forget. So if you are a malam or a pastor and you have a way you can help with sharp memory, that's okay. But don't produce a pen, a product or service, a pen or handkerchief for a child to go to the exams or like that. They will make fun of the faith. You see, people will start making fun of the Islam faith or the Christianity faith. Even God said, God help them who help themselves. There's no food for the lazy. So even the scriptures never encourage laziness.